John Force is the winningest driver in NHRA history, a 16-time funny car champion, and one of the loudest, funniest, and most beloved characters drag racing has ever known. But long before the burnouts, the television cameras, and the sold-out grandstands, there was a little boy sleeping under a tarp in the bed of an old dump truck, riding up and down California with a family that had almost nothing except each other. That boy never forgot where he came from, and he never let go of the hunger that started there. Life on the road. John Force was born into a migrant worker family. His parents and 6 brothers and sisters chased crops, berries, whatever paid, moving from field to field. Home was wherever the truck stopped for the night. They cooked on a little grill beside the highway. When it rained, they pulled a tarp over the truck bed and slept under it while semis roared past on the freeway. Most kids would call that hard. John didn't know any different. "I didn't know I was poor," he says with a grin. "I thought we were on the greatest adventure in the world." Clothes were handed down until they fell apart. Shoes were shared. Nothing got thrown away. Meals were whatever you could cook fast and cheap. But the family laughed, told stories, and stuck together. To John, that was riches, a name that meant something. Kids need something to hold on to when the world feels shaky. For John, it was the family story that their last name used to be La Force, French for the strength. He isn't sure if it's completely true, but he believed it with everything in him. "I like thinking I came from something strong," he says. "It made me walk a little taller, even when I was limping." Because John did limp. He had polio as a small child. One leg stayed weaker and slower than the other. Kids teased him. Running was hard. But his brothers and sisters wouldn't let anyone mess with him for long. They also wouldn't let him feel sorry for himself. One brother built him toy trucks out of scrap wood. Another taught him how to throw a punch. His sister Cindy taught him how to keep his life organized even when everything around them was chaos. They protected him, pushed him, and loved him in the rough way big families do. Learning to fight fear. John had a big mouth long before he ever had a microphone in front of him. That mouth got him into plenty of fights he couldn't win, especially with a slow leg. Some afternoons, he spent the whole school day sick with dread, knowing someone was waiting to beat him up after the last bell. One day, his brother Walker found him throwing up in the parking lot from pure nerves. Walker asked, "Why are you letting this kid ruin your whole day?" John admitted he was scared. Walker gave him simple advice that John still lives by. Next time someone says they're going to beat you up after school, you fight them right there, right when they say it. Don't wait. Fear grows while you wait. The next day, it happened again. A kid got in John's face and threatened him. John didn't wait. He swung instantly and threw up all over the kid. Fight over. The other boy walked away and never bothered him again. From that day on, John decided he would never let fear sit in the driver's seat. He would meet it head on, whether it was a bully in school or a final round on Sunday. Football, heart, and bite marks. Sports were another place John refused to be small. Coaches didn't know what to do with a slow kid with a weak leg. John didn't care. He hitchhiked 30 miles through snow to play Pop Warner football because he wanted to wear the helmet and shoulder pads that badly. He couldn't outrun anybody, so he played meaner and tougher than anyone else. When he tackled ball carriers, he sometimes bit them, not out of anger, just pure determination to bring them down any way he could. One runner never came back to John's side of the field again. John became a leader because he could fire people up. He talked, yelled, and demanded effort. His high school career ended when younger players clipped his bad leg on purpose to get him out of the lineup. It hurt, but years later John understood it. He had done the same thing in his mind to older racers when he was the hungry kid trying to break in. A father's quiet pride. John's dad was old school tough. Discipline came fast and physical, belt or coat hanger, your choice. John always picked the belt because the marks went away quicker. He never hated his father for it. He understood the man was trying to raise him strong in a world that didn't hand out anything for free. What John didn't know was how closely his dad followed his racing. The old man never said much, never asked about races, never showed up at the track. John figured racing just didn't matter to him. Then his father passed away. When the family opened his dad's things, they found a steel military box. Inside were scrapbooks stuffed with every newspaper clipping, every letter, every photo John had ever sent home. The old man had saved it all quietly, proudly, without ever saying a word. One story still brings tears to John's eyes. After John won his first big race, the Big Bud Shootout, his dad rode a motorcycle in the dark to buy a newspaper that had the story. He crashed, tumbled down a ravine, and came up bloody. A passerby tried to help him. "No," the old man said. "How about to get this paper? My kid won Indy." John finishes telling that story the same way every time, voice cracking. "Best man I ever knew. He died for his kid, and I'll die for mine. The hunger never leaves." John Force is in his 70s now. He has more wins than any driver in the history of drag racing. He has money, fame, a beautiful family, and grandkids who will never sleep under a tarp in the back of a truck. But he still carries that little boy with him, the one who believed his name meant strength, who learned to swing before fear could grow, who knew his dad was proud even when no words were spoken. That hunger, the one born in poverty, forged in polio, tested in schoolyard fights, and proven on football fields and drag strips, never left him. And every time he straps into a 12,000 horsepower funny car, lights the candles, and stares down the track, you can still see it burning. John Force never forgot where he came from. He just made sure the world will never forget where he went.